Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
Why were you waving at me there?
I was trying to do jazz hands, but I can't because I'm holding the microphone in my hands.
For a bit of background, recently Rich has had to be using a handheld mic because his other mic pretty much blew up.
Well, I don't know if it blew up, but it's got a weird donking noise that it just does. I don't know if people have noticed when they've been listening to the podcast, because Dave does his magic and tries to get rid of it as much as possible, but
you can't get rid of it all.
It has started doing weird things.
So now he's on a handheld mic. So if you hear a bit of a whoosh and a whoosh, it's because he's getting excited.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
Passionate.
But I can't do my normal jazz hands, so I just did it one-handed, which just makes me look like I'm waving at Dave.
It looked like you were just waving to me, so yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unequal Sequel. We are the podcast that celebrates the good, the bad, and the ugly in the world of sequels.
Yes. Sometimes commiserates as well as celebrates.
Yes. Sadly, that does happen a fair few times. Yeah. My name is Dave. I'm one of the two hosts. The other voice you can hear is Rich, and we are the generals, the management team around here. We keep things straight in the world of sequels and say how it is. God, that makes me sound like a shitty politician, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I didn't like it. Didn't like it.
Oh, dear.
Today we are going to talk about a sequel. Some would say we've waited decades for.
Some would say not a sequel.
Some would say, yeah, I can see those arguments.
I think we've got enough that I'd say it's thin, but we've got enough to go on.
I think through the development of the creation and the growth of this podcast, we can now say, yes, it's not your normal sequel, but it is a sequel in layman terms, that it is a second film in a franchise.
Mm.
And again, the word franchise at this moment is very wafer thin.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
We went and watched a sequel to 1996's Twister.
We did. It's called Twisters.
Clever.
So what are we saying? How are we calling this a sequel? Just so you know. So
okay. So in it, at the beginning, they use Dorothy 5.
Yes. Which is...
Now, Dorothy 5, because if you go back to Twister, the first film, they had 5 Dorothys to use.
Yes, yeah.
And I think the last one they used at the end of Twister was Dorothy 4.
Mm.
So this is what is left over. I don't know how they got their hands on it. They never mentioned that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't think there's a single character from the first movie in this movie. I was fully expecting, like, Kate's parents to be one of them from the first movie.
Yeah, I was expecting Helen Hunt to rock up. When they kept mentioning the mother, I thought, oh, that's going to be Helen Hunt.
But it wasn't.
But I kind of also knew I hadn't seen her doing any promotion or turn up in the trailers. And in today's trailers, they would have definitely shown that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I think we should quickly talk about our love for the original film of Twister from 1996. And if we saw it in 1996, I have a very vivid memory of going to the cinema in Harlow and watching Twister and absolutely loving it. I'm pretty sure when I went to America as well, there was a Twister ride. I don't know why that, unless I've just made that up in my head and thought there should be a Twister ride.
Yeah, maybe.
When you sit there and lots of winds and cows fly past you, and it's great.
Okay. I've never been to America, so I wouldn't know.
We should get you to America.
Should we? I don't know.
Well, not at the moment.
I also have a vivid memory of watching it in the cinema. I'm pretty sure I bunked off an afternoon of school and went and watched it.
You were that age.
Yeah, I was like 15. So, yeah, that was about the right sort of time. And I used to do it a lot. I used to just bunk off the afternoons where I didn't want to do RE and go to the cinema.
You went to your other church?
Yeah, it was my other church. Yeah. Nice. I like that. And I also have a vivid memory of absolutely hating it.
How? Why? How can you hate a film like that? It's a proper summer blockbuster.
Well, bear in mind, the similar sort of time, I also hated Mission Impossible.
Oh, you're a fool.
I was not in the realm of enjoying big, dumb movies, I think is the... they weren't for me at that point.
Right.
I wanted something more from the movie. I don't think I appreciated a movie being stupid, but also fun.
Yes, and having Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt and Philip Seymour Hoffman and all these amazing people
Again,
in it.
yeah, amazing people in it. Can't fault the cast. And I have rewatched it since, and I don't hate it. I wouldn't say I loved it. It's fine. There are still, it's still stupid. There is a bit where in the original where they're all sat in a pickup truck, a 4x4 pickup truck, and a massive fuel tanker lorry goes flying past. And I'm like, that's not how physics works. If a fuel tanker lorry is not heavy enough to withstand being picked up, your pickup truck ain't.
You and physics. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Be free as a bird.
At least in this movie, in this new one, they sort of explain it a little more. I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, in terms of the first one, spent a long part of my life hating it, thinking it was a terrible movie. Then rewatched it again just recently for this, and thought it was fine. It's fine.
I'll take that as a win for me. I love this film, and I was having a conversation. My wife also likes this film, and we rewatched it the other day.
Yeah, my wife likes the original film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how we have different takes on it, because for people in the UK, tornadoes and twisters are very much an alien concept. I think it's very much entertainment, but for other people that live in America and those bits, and my wife in Canada, she had tornado warnings and stuff like that, and her dad was a truck driver, and driving for all these parts of America, so she was scared. And the bit that really scared her when she was young, when she first watched it, was when the truck got picked up. And she's like, "That's Daddy."
Oh, yeah.
And she was terrified of this film when she was young, apparently. So I think it's just weird how we're like, oh, it's fun. It's another alien life so far away. Entertainment. Ha ha ha. Look at these people getting their houses destroyed. And then she's like, no, that we had warnings and sirens and stuff like that, and training. I was like, oh, well, we didn't have that in London.
No.
Very much not a problem. We got wind.
Don't get that in leafy Buckinghamshire.
Not at all. So we were very excited when this got announced, and I mean, like you, we were worried, how does that connect to the first one? We've covered it very thinly.
Yeah,
I think it's just a good idea for a film.
Yes, it's an idea for a film. Yes.
Oh, it's entertaining. It's a big summary, blockbustery picture.
Yes.
And it's there to entertain you.
Yes.
I think.
Do you want me to do a synopsis this time?
I was just trying to really rev you up before
I thought you were. I mean, it's relatively simple synopsis, this movie, isn't it? So
it is, yes.
We join Kate and a group of her friends who are trying to figure out a way to kill a tornado. Essentially, they're trying to develop a method to kill tornadoes. They get caught in a tornado that's bigger than they expected, and tragedy ensues. 5 years later, where Kate is moved to New York, she's left her life behind. She's still working in weather, but not really kind of tornadoes. I should also say Kate has some sort of innate magical ability to be able to sense when a tornado's coming. Yes, it's kind of a superpower. Yeah, she goes off to New York. She's then contacted by Javi, who is one of the people from the original group who were trying to kill the tornado, saying that he's since joined the military and he's invented this stuff these sensors that can fully map a tornado, and he wants her to come and help. So she goes off back to Oklahoma with Javi, thinking that they can use these sensors to try and kill tornadoes, and obviously has some PTSD issues. But they meet Tyler, played by Glenn Powell, and his crew, who are storm chasers with a YouTube channel, essentially. They are more of the kind of not so well professional kind of people that just go and fire fireworks into tornadoes, essentially.
Yeah.
And do it for likes on YouTube. And that's kind of the story, the start of the story. Tyler and Kate get closer as she realizes that maybe Javi's company isn't what she suspected it to be, and maybe Tyler isn't what she suspected him to be at the start, and things will do a switcheroo that's really, really obvious. That's kind of the synopsis without giving anything away.
And then there's a big ending that you knew that was coming as well.
I can't do the ending in the synopsis, Dave. It's kind of...
Well, it's called Twisters. The film does involve many twisters and set pieces around tornadoes and tornado
Of course,
hunting.
yeah. I don't need to.
And
Surely
like
don't
that.
need to include that. There's lots of tornadoes in it. There you go.
Do you want to tell them the cast quickly? The people who play who?
Okay, so Kate is played by Daisy Edgar Jones, who we know from like Normal People and other things. She's so hot right now. Then you've got Glenn Powell, also so hot right now, who plays Tyler.
Really hot right now.
Anthony Ramos, also hot right now, who plays Javi. You'll know him from like Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. He's the main human in that. And I mean, you've got lots of other characters. You've got like people that sort of pop up in smaller roles, like Sasha Lane, who plays Lily.
She's great. Most things
yeah, she's good. Yeah, she is. And then you've got Darren McCormack, who plays Jeb, who's like an Irish actor that I know from a series called Woman in the Wall that I watched, which is pretty good.
I know him from that Leo Grande movie.
Oh, I've not seen
Emma
that.
Thompson.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. But yeah, he's in it for a bit. And yeah, there's various other sort of.
We should also
smaller
mention
parts.
Superman.
Superman?
Yeah.
Who's
the new Superman's in this
David Corenswet, or whatever his name is.
Yes, that one.
Is it Corenswet?
Yeah.
That is his name, right?
As we came out of the film, Tiff went, "Oh, there's that Henry Cavill looking like," and I went, "Funny you say that."
Yeah, he plays a bit of a dick, doesn't he? He's Javi's business partner, and he's a bit of a dick. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but right at the end, Paul Scheer pops up for about 2 minutes.
A great cameo.
I don't know why, but there he is.
I love that scene. I loved it. So yeah, do you want to do spoilers later and we'll just talk about if we liked it or not?
Yeah, we can do spoilers later. I mean, there's not a great deal to spoil. If you're going to watch Twisters, you're not expecting like a big spoiler-laden movie, but
it hits every beat you expect it to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you start watching it and the storyline starts unfolding and you're like, well, that's going to happen to him. That's going to happen. Ta-da!
Yep.
Big okay. Love.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so what I've been waiting for is your feelings.
Okay. I thought it was big, dumb, and relatively fun. I guess is the best way of putting it.
I think that's good, right?
I don't think it's great, but it ain't bad. So, yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's...
Is it what you expected it to be?
Yeah, it's basically exactly what I expected it to be. It's pretty stupid, but I'd say the chemistry between Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones is really good. That kind of drags you through. I find Kate quite an interesting character, and the fact that they do sort of play on her PTSD a bit more than maybe the previous movie does with characters. And yeah, I mean, it's all pretty predictable. It's all pretty obvious. It's all pretty stupid in lots of places. They basically throw physics in the bin quite a lot, although probably not as much as the first movie. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Everything in it is really obvious. There's nothing groundbreaking about it. But I did come out going, do you know what? That was a pleasant couple of hours I've just spent. I'm not sad that I watched it. I quite enjoyed it.
I agree with everything you said, but I would do it more enthusiastically.
That's fair. That's fair.
Basically, I think I'll be like, yeah, it's really stupid, but it's really fun. And I mean, it's got a banging soundtrack as well, which is full of country music that I've been listening to all week.
Do you know what? It made me want to go and live on a farm in Oklahoma. Even
with the tornadoes?
Even with the tornadoes. I was still like, do you know what? All I really want in life is a big barn where I can tinker with lots of stuff. Like, I just really want that big barn that she's got.
But no tornadoes.
No, I don't really want the tornadoes. I don't want to go tornado chasing. I just want a big barn that I can tinker with stuff in, and that'd be my life.
It kind of made me want to go tornado hunting.
Did it?
To be honest, I've watched quite a few documentaries about these guys that go hunting tornadoes and taking pictures and making money from it and stuff, and with their cars. They're a little bit more sensible than what Glenn Powell's character does.
Yeah.
Who is thoroughly entertaining in this movie.
Very entertaining, and also exactly who you expect him to be, as in that you know, they set him up as like the idiot redneck, and then you actually find out he's got a degree and, you know, done a PhD.
I'm just going to put one word in there for you.
Yeah.
Sexy idiot.
Sexy idiot redneck. Yeah. There's lots of like.
There's one part, and I think most men and women will. There's a part when he's wearing a white t-shirt in the rain with a hat, and he comes out the house, and my wife made a noise.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, he's a very, very good-looking man, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, as I say, he's basically exactly what you think he is. He's got hidden depths, Dave.
He has. I just want to tap in the chemistry. I'm not saying it was bad chemistry, but I've read a few things saying that they didn't have good chemistry.
Really? I thought they did.
Yeah, I thought they were fine.
Yeah, I thought they did. It's not as good as his chemistry that he has with
Mars Teller.
Yeah, definitely not as good as that. No, but not as good as the chemistry he has with what's her name in Anyone But You. Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney.
Their chemistry's a lot better, but then it's a very different role. I actually thought they were all right. Like,
I think Glenn Powell could have chemistry with a stick.
You're probably right. Yeah,
he seems like that kind of actor, and we're kind of ignoring the Anthony Ramos character a lot.
We are, because he is very much a side character, isn't he?
The puppy eyes. He's there's definitely something there.
But you kind of get it, you know what he's about early on, really. You know he's okay, we're getting into spoilers already, aren't we?
Well, I don't know. Would you say he's a main character, or would you say he's a side
I'd say he's a side character.
Okay.
He is the character that brings the main character in, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
He brings the main two characters together, but he's definitely like a supporting role.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I just, he's quite a big name now, Anthony Ramos, and but I just think that Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell just topped him slightly, a little bit. And I liked with Daisy Edgar Jones' character. They did the film. They did push that female lead to the front a little bit more than Twister did.
Yes.
With Helen Hunt, I would say Helen Hunt, maybe Paxton got a little bit more of the heroic moments than Helen Hunt did.
Yeah.
And in this film, they kind of at the end.
Kate is 100% the hero of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I liked that. That made it feel a bit different. I enjoyed I did enjoy the side characters of the tag along crew, because I think that's what's really good about the first Twister film is the crew. They got the guy from Succession, Alan Ruck, and all the map readers and the scientists all bombing along
Philip
in
Seymour
their
Hoffman.
caravans. Fucking having the best time, absolutely nailing that part. And I think that if they didn't have that aspect in this film, it would have been a little bit sad, because tornado hunting looked so much fun again in that original film. So when you got like the Sasha Lanes and the Boone character who's played by Brandon Piera, who's quite funny, I was happy.
Yeah,
I was happy throughout the whole film, to be honest. Like you said, it's an absolutely lovely way to spend a couple of hours.
It's the sort of film I wanted to watch, because I've been having a relatively serious time of my life at the moment, and I didn't really want a very serious movie. So a couple of hours to turn my brain off and not think about stuff is kind of quite welcome.
It's a silly film to a silly sequel. Sequel to a silly film in the first place.
And it really isn't a sequel beyond the fact that it's got the same named bucket.
It's not the same named bucket. It is the bucket. It's the fifth machine from.
Okay, all right.
But that goes missing very early on.
It really does. Yeah. That's gone in the first minute or two.
That's like one of the nods to the original, like little hat to like, okay, we see you, we respect you, but we're going to go a little bit more crazy.
There is a scene where, and they must have done this deliberately, where Kate goes back home to see her mum, and she's like talks about her mum all the way through this, and then her mum's like talking to her from like the shadows.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's going to be Helen Hunt, or it's at least going to be someone from the first one. And then she steps out of the shadows and you're like, oh, it's Maura Tierney.
Who's a great actress.
Who's amazing, but not in the first movie at all.
No.
And I'm like, oh.
Do you think they tried to get Helen Hunt?
The lady from Liar Liar. I don't know. Maybe. I'd hope they did, because that was really set up for it. And I was really expecting that's what it would be. But
then wouldn't it be silly if the mother and the daughter had both the same traumatic experience? To set up both
different
films?
Though. like, so Helen Hunt's traumatic experience was, I think if you live in Oklahoma, then chances are there's a sort of a Twister experience you're going to talk about. Helen Hunt's experience is she was a child, whereas Kate's not a tornado hunter. She, that tornado came along, when she was a child, and that happened.
And that made her chase tornadoes.
That made her chase tornadoes. Whereas Kate is a tornado hunter, and then tragedy happens. She's already hunting.
She's never really a tornado hunter at the beginning. She's more of a scientist.
Well, yeah, but okay. She's a scientist working on tornadoes and working around them, and just like they are in the first movie, I would say, is they're scientists, aren't they? And is trying to get a grant for more study of like how to destroy a tornado. So I would say by the way, it would be believable.
Destroying.
I don't know enough about tornadoes to know.
No, what do I?
So I don't know. I imagine you would need so much of that stuff they had in the barrels that it would be impractical. Like the amount that they used probably wouldn't be enough. I'm guessing, but
especially with an F5.
Who knows? An EF5.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Do you think they did a good job of, because tornadoes it's like we talk about this quite often with the whole smashy things when towns and cities get laid out and there's no mention. But when you've got like an actual tornado, like natural, it's hard to do balance entertainment with these things are actually destructive and can fuck up people's lives. Like I was saying at the beginning, for us in England, it was all entertainment, but for a lot of people, it's life if you're living in it.
Yeah, and I think this movie does a better job of showing that.
Yes.
The essential, the subtext of this movie is about people losing their homes and livelihoods, and then others profiting from that.
I found that storyline really interesting, by the way.
I would have found it more interesting if they'd focused on it a bit more. Like, it was very kind of like... Okay, we're going to get into spoilers again, I think. So, just to give people a warning, we're heading into spoiler territory, just in case there is anything to even slightly spoil about this movie. Yeah, so it turns out, like, Javi's company is funded by... one of their big financial backers is like a property development tycoon. And what he's actually doing is he wants the data that they're collecting so he knows where uninsured people are going to get their properties, or underinsured people are going to get their properties destroyed, so that he can sweep in after the tornado hits and buy up all their land for cheap. He doesn't have a line. He doesn't speak in this movie, and he's exactly what you'd expect kind of a Midwest baddie to look like. He's got like looks like J.R. Ewing from Dallas with a big 10-gallon hat on. Like, he may as well wear a big T-shirt that says, "I am the baddie." And also, Javi looks like sus all the way through the movie. So you're like, hang on a second. He looks guilty about everything. So it's all pretty obvious that that's what's happening. And it turns out that Tyler and his crew are actually the good guys. And that actually what they do is they use their money that they raise from their YouTube channel to buy food and provisions for people in the towns who are hit by tornadoes. So actually, they're the goodies. What a surprise!
What a shock! And those people that Kate is travelling with at the beginning of the film very much feel like the bad idiot guys from the first film, with their shirts and whatever.
Yeah.
The Carrie Ulis, whatever his name is, character.
Yeah.
He gets whooshed up in that first film.
He does get whooshed up in the first film, doesn't he? Yeah, so they're more like... Yeah, Javi's company is more like that. Those guys, I guess,
yes. Yeah. Do you want to do the Rotten Tomatoes quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to see what you think. We'll start with Twister from 1996.
Okay. I think I'm relatively alone in not liking that movie. I think most people like it.
I was listening to Empire podcast I do every week, and Chris Hewitt, being on this podcast, also does not like Twister.
Oh, cool.
So you're not alone.
So I'm not alone, but I don't think we are the majority, I would say.
No. So critics, there's 140 reviews.
I think it will be relatively solid 76%.
Oof. 66%.
Okay. That makes me happier. Makes me feel more like part of the crew.
Audience score. There's over 250,000 ratings.
I think this is a movie that audiences will enjoy more than critics, potentially. So I'm going to go with 78%.
58%.
50? Wow. Okay.
So maybe
I'm not.
I'm
Maybe I'm not in the minority here. Like,
has Twister not aged well? Because I always thought it was a well-renowned, fun film, like a natural disaster film.
I think it's just fine. Like, so I think it's one of those movies that sits.
Such good memories of it.
And I think that's because you were the right age, maybe.
Oh, I remember the cows going past. I loved it. Scary, action.
One cow, like for one scene.
It's the same cow. Yeah. Helen Hunt. Everyone falls in love with Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone loves Bill Paxton in that film. It's great.
It's fine. I would say it's kind of a borderline between a 2.5 and a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 5. So 2.5 and a 3 out of 5 movie. So being around that kind of 50-60%, that probably makes sense to me.
Yeah, I would say a 3.5. Twisters from 2024, 322 reviews. A lot of reviews.
That's a lot of reviews. So I don't know because I avoid all reviews as much as possible till we've watched a movie.
That's why we play the game.
But again, I'm gonna say I think people will maybe treat it pretty similarly. So but maybe a little higher. I'm going to go 68 for critics.
It's currently sitting at 75%.
Oh, okay. So a lot higher than the original.
Someone's wrote, Twisters is big and flashy, but not fun or frightening.
No. I disagree.
And Rich agrees with that.
No, I disagree. I think it definitely is fun.
But someone positive, Twisters is a rousing film and one of the best offerings summer 2004 thus far.
Again, no, it's not. But it is a fun movie. It's not the best of 2024 though. To
me, it felt like a proper summer film, like one of those blockbuster, and there hasn't been many of those films.
No,
for a while.
That's true. Hopefully, we'll talk about Deadpool and Wolverine next week, and we can change that.
Yeah, hopefully. Audience score. Not many ratings, only 5,000 plus.
Okay,
ratings.
I think it. So I was going to go before I even knew it was 75. Did you say for critics?
75.
I was thinking low 70s for audience, so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to say like 72.
92.
Whoa! Surprising. Again, I would say it's a 3 out of 5 movie. So yeah, then maybe that's right.
I went into it very much more hyped than you were.
Yeah.
And yeah. I think if you listen to the last few episodes, you might have worked out that I like Twister more than Richard liked Twister in the past. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I was like, you've got to rewatch Twister before we watch Twisters. Because I was hoping there was going to be a Mission Impossible change in there.
It wasn't quite so seismic as Mission Impossible, but I went from hating it to thinking it was fine.
Yeah, it's aged pretty well. Yeah, the effects are not bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
What do you think of the effects in the new one? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's a bit like where they sort of show you like how a tornado kind of forms, and they have this conversation about like what the clouds do and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Apparently they went and filmed tornadoes and stuff and then superimposed that into their film. So that's pretty cool and terrifying if you're the cameraman.
Yes.
To go and do that. Like, apparently, and they filmed in Oklahoma, so a lot of the times they did have to stop filming and then go hide for a while or whatever, which is commitment to the past. And this was directed by a new director. Hang on. Lee Isaac Chung, and apparently he likes to be called Isaac.
Okay.
Still produced by Spielberg.
Yes.
Because it's Amblin.
Yeah, I noticed that. Oh, I know who he is. He did Minari, didn't he? Isaac Chung. He's Korean
I haven't watched
guy.
it. I hear it's good though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, that's worth watching.
I think he did a really good job because it's not the easiest of jobs to do because it could have been really silly.
Yeah, I mean it could have been really silly. I would say if you compare this to Minari, it feels like a bit of a waste. Like I would say because I think that film's
really? It's a different film, though, right?
Yeah, it is a very different film, and that it's nice to guess that he's showing off a different side, doing like this kind of more like blockbuster actiony thing, and yeah, does a decent job. I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right. That's
positive. I think this would be a hard film to make, really, but
it's a hard film to make well, I would say. So
yes, but he's made it entertaining, and I think that's the most important thing in a film like Twisters. I think everyone knows what kind of film they're in, which is good. And I think, like we said, Glenn Powell smiles through it constantly. It's super charming. Daisy Edgar Jones does great. I think she's good.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
Brilliant accent. I had to tell my missus she wasn't.
Yeah, she's not American.
From America.
Yeah, she's not from Oklahoma.
It's amazing, actually. Great. Did you miss the kiss at the end? Do you think they should have kissed? There's a big hoo-ha about this.
Nah, I'm kind of glad they didn't.
That was Spielberg's note. Take the kiss out.
Yeah, we didn't need that.
I think it's fine. You knew they were going to kiss, guys.
Well, we didn't need it. We didn't need it. It's all good.
It's all good. So, Unequal sequel, and let's do the rating.
Okay. I would say it's a pretty equal sequel, I think.
Okay.
I think I prefer it to the first one.
Ooh.
But they're pretty similar. So yeah, pretty equal. I prefer it by like a millimetre, not like loads. It's
a great companion piece, I think.
Yeah.
I think if you enjoy Twister, you're going to really enjoy Twisters.
Yes.
Should
yeah,
do.
Yeah.
There's some really good scenes.
Maybe the returning character is the Twister. That's
like in Jaws 4.
That's what it is.
Out for revenge. That'd be mad.
That would be mad. The returning character is the wind.
There are some good scenes, like there's the swimming pool scene when it hits at the ranch.
Yeah.
Not the ranch, the rodeo, I think is good.
Yeah.
And the end is good, and I like how they let the Daisy be the hero.
Yes. Yeah, I like that too.
The men were just
hiding.
Running for cover, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
it was Glenn Powell who got trapped under some rubble and had to be rescued. You know. Yeah, I like that.
Finally. Yeah. So rating, my friend. So I'm going to say equal sequel as well.
Good.
Because I think they're great for each other.
Okay, so...
Especially for a sequel that's 30 years old or whatever it is now, or just under 30 years old.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I think, again, I'm not going to give it loads of marks because it's pretty dumb. But I think a 4 out of 7 is reasonable.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think
I'll say that's a win from Rich. That is...
It's not my movie of the year or anything, but yeah, I think 4 out of 7 is pretty good. You know,
I'm going to go above that. I'm going to say a 5 out of 7.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's a great film. Go and see it in the cinema because it's big, loud.
Yeah, and
it looks great.
My screening was quite full as well. There were quite a lot of people. Mine. Yeah.
We'll report the numbers at the end of the month when we do the roundup. I think it's the best way of doing it now, to let the films have a bit of a breathe and a session and see how they do before we start commenting on being worried or not and stuff like that. But yeah, go sit in the cinema. I think it's a great big film, IMAX-y, big screen, loudy.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's done
Definitely
reasonably well box office wise, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're happy with it, which is good. I don't think I can keep watching Twister films.
No,
you know what I mean?
I think we're done. I don't think we need another one.
I think one every 28 years might be good, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because then it will, if it is like Twisters, it will turn like the Jaws franchise, like da-da-da, tornado. So yeah, that's a 4 out of 7 for you, 5 out of 7 for me. That's a recommendation from us.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah, I guess it is.
So go see it. Rich, see us out.
Oh yeah, I've got to do that bit. I forgot about that.
Bit.
Normally I forget about the synopsis, and I didn't. I remembered the synopsis, but this time I forgot I have to do the outro, which, you know, that's just ridiculous because I never forget that. Anyway, so tell us what you thought of Twisters. Get on the interwebs, go on your favourite social media site, type in Unequal Sequel in the search box, and we'll pop up. And you can send us a little message telling us what you thought about Twisters. Maybe you thought it was terrible. Maybe you thought it was great. Let us know. You can also do that on email. We are unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Send us a message. We will read out any of your messages, either on social media or on the emails in the end of month roundup, which is a while away now because we only just started August. But yeah, do that. If you really like us and you want more of us, then you can get yourself onto anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where for just $2.99 a month, you can join our subscription service, where you can get Disenfranchised, Box Set Mentality, and you can get sequel sessions to all of our interview episodes, some of which I have to say are maybe even better than the episodes themselves, because they are so good. So yeah, get along, listen to those. Listen to Dave's incredible audio quality and editing skills that he pulls out on those episodes. So that's always really good. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just getting on your pod player of choice, tapping us out a little review, 5 stars, little heart, little tick, whatever it is, hitting the auto download button, hitting the subscribe button, really helps us out, helps other people find the podcast. And just tell your mates, tell them to come and listen.
Lovely. I was on Rotten Tomatoes earlier, and if we want to be like critics on there, so you can put podcasts on there now.
Okay.
The only stipulation, and this is quite a big one for us, you need 200 ratings on Apple Podcasts. And you have to be a 4 or above. So if everyone could do that,
yes,
we can go Rotten Tomatoes.
That would be good. Please, I quite like to be a certified Rotten Tomatoes.
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Because then we could join in the fun.
Then we'd actually be critics then, Dave.
I think so. Ooh. Next week is Deadpool and Wolverine. It's the big one. We've given it a couple of weeks for you guys to see those cameos and all of that, and the storyline that they've tried to keep secret best they can.
Yeah, we don't want any spoilers.
The internet's trying to ruin it.
Yeah, no spoilers from us.
Well, there will be in the episode.
There will be in the episode, but the episode's going to be like 2 weeks after it comes out. So,
yeah,
you've
exciting.
got time.
So, everyone enjoy that. I've got nothing else to say. Thank you for listening. Send in your thoughts. It's a bye-bye from me. Bye-bye. Nearly forgot to say bye-bye. And it is a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you in the next one. Stick with this one. Have a good week. Bye. Are you nervous about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Nah. It'll be fun, won't it?
Fun and stupid.
Yeah,
with some big surprises, hopefully.
I'm down for fun and stupid at the moment. That's all good for me.
I just want a fun Marvel film again.
Yeah.
God, I want a fun Marvel film.
Yep.
And I want to come out with a smile on my face.
Me too.
If that happens, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.